Good early morning, you lovely people, and welcome to another video of the official topic talk. Please subscribe, like, and hit the notification button so every time I produce a video you'll receive a notification. I thought I just had to cover the story that's hit the news the past couple of days surrounding the murder of Olivia Pratt-Korbel, aged 9, in the Liverpool area. Sad. No family should have to go through the tragedy of this situation, of having their young child taken from them by a selfish and careless individual. Targeting killing of girl 9, arrested on probation. A 35-year-old man, believed to be the target of the fatal shooting that killed Olivia Pratt-Korbel, 9, has been arrested. Merseyside police said the man was on probation, but it is now detained in hospital and will be recalled to prison to serve the remainder of his licence. Detective Chief Inspector Mark Kamen renewed an appeal for members of the community to come forward with information on the shooting. This is not the first time for anyone who knows who was responsible to stay silent. It is a time for us all to make Merseyside a place where the use of guns on our streets is totally unacceptable, and those who use them are held to account. Police hunting the gunman responsible for killing Olivia Pratt-Korbel have received the name of a suspect by 2 different sources, that's according to reports. Key points: man chased by gunman who shot Olivia dead, arrested after breaching prison recall. Police hunt killer as community fears tragedy could happen to anyone. 2 sources have named the same suspect to Merseyside police. Boris Johnson described shooting as unimaginable tragedy, family devastated and inconsolable after girl 9 killed. The best friend of Olivia Pratt-Korbel has paid a heartbreaking tribute to her big sister, who she will miss so much. Hattie said, "Olivia, you are the best friend anyone could wish for. Like my big sister, I will miss you so much. Lots of loves, Hattie." Her brother Logan, who was in Olivia's class at St. Margaret's Mary Primary School, won't be the same without her. Family played tribute to Sassy Queen. The family of Olivia Pratt-Korbel have paid tribute to her Sassy Queen, saying her murder feels like a nightmare. Now on the screen I'm gonna put a picture up of Olivia. Community upset, nervous and angry. Merseyside Police Chief Constable Serena Kennedy has sought to reassure a community she says are upset and nervous, as well as angry in the wake of the violence in the city. Speaking on a walkabout at the scene of 3 fatal shootings in Liverpool, the police chief said people are understandably upset and nervous, and this is why I want to provide some reassurance that we're doing everything we can to catch all those responsible. Residents need to be able to go about their business and feel safe in their homes. They feel frightened about what's happening, but the feedback I have received is that they feel grateful for the additional support and resources we are providing, including the high visibility police presence, along with our colleagues at Liverpool Council and the Community Safety Partnership. Police on Merseyside are baring their teeth at criminals following 3 fatal shootings in the space of a week. Armed police and strike teams broke down front doors in Liverpool as part of a series of raids on Wednesday morning, as well as the killing of 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Korbel. It follows the death of Sam Rimmer, 20, who was shot in Dingle on Tuesday the 16th, Ashley Dale, 28, who was found with gunshot wounds in the back garden of her old Swan home in the early hours of Sunday. 3 people were arrested on suspicion of Mr. Rimmer's murder. The raids were carried out as part of Operation Myla, the force responsible to serious organised crime. Just take a moment, people, just to reflect on what's happened. A 35-year-old man, believed to be the target of the fatal shooting that killed Olivia Pratt-Korbel, has been arrested. Now, this man on the screen, he was the intended target, a former drug dealer who was previously jailed for 49 months in 2018 for a string of burglary offences. He was the intended target, but as he was confronted by the gunman, he's decided to run away to save his life. But unfortunately, Olivia's mum had heard the commotion outside and so innocently decided to open her front door to see what all the commotion about, and this rat decided to run in a force's way into her home to try and get away and avoid the gunman. But unfortunately, Olivia's mum's strength to hold the door closed wasn't enough, and this rat barged his way into the home, followed by the gunman, who managed to get his hand round the door, loosed off a shot, which hit Olivia's mum in the wrist and ricocheted and killed 9-year-old Olivia. The gunman then proceeded to continue to open fire towards the intended target, hitting him numerous times before he decided to flee, and the intended target had obviously made a couple of calls to his people, and in doing so his people have turned up and dragged him out of the house, stepping over the body of the injured child to save his own bacon and to get to the hospital, and not one of them ever took the thought to save the child. You know, this is where I find it quite sad. You know, why didn't the people come to save him? Why didn't they think about the child and drag the child into the car and rush the child off to the hospital? That Olivia might have had a bit more of a chance, but this selfish rat, he's obviously got himself in a whole heap of a mess with drug dealers up there in Liverpool, and in doing so he's dragged an innocent family through, you know, a traumatic and tragedy situation where a mother's now lost their child, all because of this selfish rat, to avoid himself getting shot and injured. And I'm hoping that the community do come together and break that code of silence within the criminal fraternity, and in some way, shape or form make it known to the police who this gunman is. I'm also hoping that the community comes together and in some way, shape or form informs the police who arranged the hit in the first place and who initially produced the gun that killed Olivia. I do hope in this instance there's been far too many deaths in Liverpool over drug dealers and the organised crime groups within the Merseyside area. 4 deaths in the space of a week, all involving drug deals, all involving a criminal fraternity, and probably in a few cases innocent people being shot dead, stabbed to death. But this crime wasn't bad enough as it was. It came at exactly the same hour that Rhys Jones was murdered. So on the eve of the Rhys Jones murder killing, at about exactly the same time, an innocent 9-year-old was shot dead because of the organised crime gangs in Liverpool. Now the gunman, he needs to be caught. The person who ordered the hit needs to be caught. And the person who put the gun in his hand needs to be caught. You know, I take no mercy on the intended target victim, because it's his own doings. He's got himself involved in organised crime gangs in Liverpool, ex-drug dealer, and he's just brought an innocent family into his whole mess. I think it's time now for the Liverpool criminal fraternity to break their code of silence and to speak up and to name these people that are involved in these hideous crimes of murder within the Liverpool area. My heartfelt condolences go out to the mother and to the family of Olivia at this sad time. It's about time that the Liverpool OCGs, organised crime groups, put down their knives, put down their guns, and if you've got a problem, use your fists. Go and break the person's nose. It's about time that the community stood together, don't care about the consequences, and get these names out there so they can receive the justice that the families like Olivia so much deserve. I'll just leave that with your thoughts, people. And I just wanted to do a quick video to cover the situation in Liverpool as regards to the innocent killing of Olivia. Gangland gun horrors that haunt a city in the morning. The death of little Olivia, the fourth Liverpool murder in a week, is part of a dark underbelly too often driven by a violent drugs trade. Olivia Pratt-Korbel, who was shot in her home in Liverpool on Monday night. The kind-hearted, joyful and popular little girl was about to start year 5 at school. There were more than 30 incidents involving a weapon in Liverpool since June. I just hope the community can come together and help to rid the knife and the gun crime in Liverpool. And the community, I'm hoping, will speak up, break the code of silence, if not for Olivia, if not for her family to receive the justice they so deserve. Well, I'm going to wrap it up, people, and until the next one, you have yourself a good morning, and I'll catch up with you all shortly. I'll just leave this with you.